and the Philadelphia Eagles. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up second down. Back to throw again. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Navarro Bowman coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. To throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
So on fourth down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game. I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First,
and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. To return it is Corey Grant. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
On the left. Great 15. Great 15.
Shotgun now for Wentz. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep is a very dangerous Mike Hughes. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is fielded inside the 5. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? 1st down, here's the run with Cook. Space to run past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings! A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here's Corey Grant now to return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. The return man is Grant. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. To throw, it's Wentz. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to sling this. He's got a man complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. A big play there for Minnesota. 42 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
All right, now, look at 56.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Steps away to his left. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he finds Cook. Cook stripped, the ball's out, and the Eagles have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Here we go. Waiting. Black. 81.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here we go. 120.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, and it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw here. He's going to look deep down the field. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. The kick by Carlson is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll start out on the ground with a Johnny. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down, and it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 2nd down, Cook. Able to slither by. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Old coach of mine used to say all the time, hey, sometimes you got to put your nose down, put your shoulder down, and drive forward and get some yardage. Save those dance moves for the senior ball, son.
The defense, though, they were crashing hard. He didn't really have much of a chance. They'll drop to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They pitch it out to Cook. Had a nice broken tackle and then brought down right around the 20. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Hurry up, here we go!
They'll set up to throw. Open man is Treadwell, and he's got it for the Minnesota touchdown. Laquan Treadwell his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Mike Bennett in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. They'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. So he got 3 of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12.
Go. 20. Great 15. Great 15.
Now Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Linval Joseph coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity to try and put points on the board.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Gone! 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 Gone!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And now he'll tuck it and run. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. Wait a second, they did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Sunday! Lion!
Mike by 4.
I'm bringing it to you.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Black. There's 5-2.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Let's go. Go.
And they'll run it here. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Flushed out right. And Jeffrey's got it. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. They've really been able to contain Alshon Jeffrey. That catch a rare exception in this game.
And that's a feather in their cap because he's such a tone setter for his team on offense that they try and get him the ball early. And, of course, what comes after that is often. And for them to limit him and him not catch a ball until the second half, it's a big reason why his team is behind on the scoreboard.
That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. Finding room to the 20. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL. Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles get a score closer. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is down to 24. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. They find some open field here. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Michael Bannon in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? He'll look to throw. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now a play fake. Wentz eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Got him, man, it's caught inside the 10. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll come out in the pistol, and he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
He'll get it up the middle, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. They come up in an offset eye.
Lefty.
Guys, Allentown, let's get off the field. Let's
Great. Click on.
56 to Mike.
Wentz now on 3rd and goal. And the Eagles are in for 6.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Now Wentz going to lead the Eagles up to go for 2.
For Tokyo! Let's go.
Now a toss going left. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go, and the try for 2 is denied. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
Watch him now, Barney!
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
He'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
82.
On second down, here's Wentz. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now Wentz on third down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And that's caught inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Go. Waiting.
Watch the motion.
Ram.
Mike 4-2. Get long game, B.
Shift.
And that'll set them back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Back there. Waiting.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Now a desperation throw deep. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Past the 20. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. That one looks like he'll throw here. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. And that's incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone.
Right there. All day, baby.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. That's taken it around the 40. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like...
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Hey. You got 3. You got 3.
Here's Ajayi. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 17. Now Wentz. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. They give it, and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it. Because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Vikings, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Can you hear me?